So, calling to order the December 14th meeting of the Berlin Cultural Council at 7:35 p.m. pursuant to the state of emergency related to COVID. Meetings can happen by Zoom. This is in person, but you are being recorded. So, the first order of business is the minutes from last meeting. So Jess sent that around. Does anyone have any comments on the minutes from last meeting?
No, I move that we accept the minutes as written.
Do we have a second?
Accept the meetings as written.
Okay. All those in favor of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes unanimously. I'm gonna just, thankfully, just sent these wonderful notes for the minutes for this meeting, so I will endeavor to. Looking decent. Okay. Anything new to
Nothing.
report on?
No, nothing has changed. There hasn't been any updates in the mailbox. I just checked again a little while ago. So everything as written last time, the available funding.
Oh, we have Sandra.
Oh, right. Would you have to walk 10 miles uphill there, Sandra?
What's that?
Did you walk 10 miles uphill?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we just started, so we approved the minutes from last meeting, and that's
Awesome.
all we have done. And if you'd like brownie or blondie,
Oh my goodness.
what can I say? There's a certain way I like to carry on a meeting.
Nice.
Okay, so nothing to.
No, and I was able to put the $400 back into the
Okay.
into our accounting on the website. So
Okay.
the MCC is aware that that money got turned back. So $7,400 is what we
Okay.
have.
Okay, I just want, as way of quasi report, that did reach out to, well, I emailed everyone about, but reached out to Hontos about the request that they had put in by paper, which we couldn't accept, and that was, kind of got the best response back, because,
Yeah.
we all felt bad that we couldn't entertain that based on the rules, but seems like they're good with that, and hopefully someone can give them a little poke before next time, make sure they know, and we'll get that updated on our site before next cycle. And I did, given that the library was associated with a lot of the grants, I did talk to the library director to just give her kind of a heads up of what ones we did and didn't pass, and kind of the general rationale for that, because I figured since most of them were being put in by the performers, that when they heard when the library would hear from them might be kind of haphazard, so I just kind of wanted to give them a rundown of that, and that was all fine. No hard, nothing. No,
Okay.
no. Our budget is pretty stretched, and I tried to give an idea of why particular ones were.
Did all the library ones get approved?
So
I apologize, I did not make the last meeting.
So we had a total of 26 requests, I think it was. So if we were able to approve all of those at the amount they were requested, that would have been $14,565.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
7,400,
Oh,
so there
Way off.
were 8 grants we had to turn down. So we turned down the Assabet Valley Master Singers, as we usually do. There was a Haitian cuisine tour for 1,700 that was going to be taking place at different colleges, so it wasn't local. So yeah, that was
right.
no. The maker space for the library, that was one we turned down. I believe that was the one that had when we all of the grant requests, there's a section to be like, what are you going to do if you don't get all the money? And I believe that was the one that kind of was indicating that they really thought they, because of the effort put in or whatever, that they requested the full amount. And so we felt that their lack of preparation for how they would deal with not getting it made that a little easier to say no to that. Yeah, we rejected the Afternoon of Brass because that was not going to be local. So Meredith Charles improv workshops, there was one put in for the adults that she usually does at 19 Carter, and one that was going to be a children's one. We approved the adult one, but not the children's one because there's a lot of other children's programming, and with the limited money, didn't think that we would, that doing both of those was fiscally responsible. There's a live music making history. Okay, I have the word live written down twice in my notes, I'll have to look at that. But that did not have a sponsor, so we rejected that. Matt York, Stories and Songs, Willie Nelson, he had done last year one related to Johnny Cash, and then the previous year one that dealt with all the highwaymen, and because we had given him money the past couple of years, that was one we felt. And then there was a library one, Elijah T. Grasshopper and Friends. It's one for little kids that was one of the more pricey ones, and they tend to overestimate the number of people that are going to attend it. So that, again, seemed like an easier one to reject,
Right.
because they didn't seem to have a good sense of what their audience was going to be. So the ones we did approve, were we able to approve them all for the full amount they requested? That would be $9,240. So we have $74. So $7,400. So
Right.
basically, major purpose of this meeting is cutting $1,840 to make those work. So to just come to a brief.
Do you want to see these? I can share them with you here.
So the ones we did approve is one of the library ones, Generations of Fun, an intergenerational performance by Davis Bates that requested $500, a copper bookmark workshop for the library, Heather Beck for $486. The seniors painting with Patty Part 2 for $500. Senior watch party for the senior citizens, where that's going to be a watch party at the movie theater. That's going to be at the mall, that movie theater. $350. Honky Tonk Piano Man for the seniors, $250. The adult improv, $500. The Reiki infused sound bath, that's one I want. So I talked to 19 Carter about that. So she has done stuff with them before, but they weren't involved in her current proposal. And I asked about the discrepancy of the fact that she had put down $300 as rental fee, whereas Meredith Charles had put down $100. So the 19 Carter's normal rental fee is $300. They have given Meredith Charles a break, so that's why that one is $100. But anticipating that it was a grant that we would potentially not be able to fund in full, it did sound like they would be willing to eat some of the cost of the rental, so it won't fall solely upon the artist. Okay, where was I? So we have for the library, Motoko Dworkin, Japanese folk tales and origami for families, $550. Summer reading at the library, Diane Edgecombe, Let's Go Eco, $525. The 88th Regional Exposition Art and Craft for Fitchburg Art Museum, they're asking $250. Stories from Neighbors, which is a link program for the elementary school, they're asking for $680. The Neshoba Symphonic Band is asking for $500. We have a musical baseball show, Howard Newman, that is $400. 19 Carter's Music Series, they're asking for $1,000. Library program, Lindsay Sprague Angora Wool Fiber Spinning and Wild Food Foraging program is $349. At the Wizard for the library, Wildlife Balloon Twisting Workshop, that is $450. Pop-up acrylic night, or pop-up art school acrylic paint night, Town of Berlin, that is $400. So that's another one of the few library ones that they did themselves. And then the Virginia Thurston Healing Garden, their Harmonious Healing and Power Resiliency Through Music Therapy, is asking for $1,000. So
Is that a one-time,
that is an ongoing.
ongoing? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull that up real
We've
quickly.
supported them the last couple of years, but
Mm.
not to that amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there are some Berlin residents who take advantage of that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So
That,
we
I
do
was
like
just
to
like, it's.
spend money there.
Yeah.
I can also understand how it goes up, times continue to go as
Mhm.
money continues to deteriorate, so
Mhm.
it would just make sense to ask probably for more money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of grants have.
Yeah, a lot of them ask for more, and they're fine with a little less.
Mm.
They don't always know where all the funding is gonna come from, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, a lot of programs, especially ones that involve people from multiple towns, will ask from, multiple towns for the money. So, like as an example, I didn't read it out, but just had put in her notes for the minutes the amount all of these groups had asked for in total. So, like the Fitchburg Art Museum, their craft fair, they asked us for $250. Their total asks from the various cultural councils is $7,895. The Neshoba Symphonic Band, they asked us for $500. Their total asks are $11,000 apparently.
Yeah.
19 Carter, I guess theirs is $12,000. And then the Healing Garden, their total asks of various councils is $8,547. So, and some of the ones we did not approve were asking plenty of other towns for things. So, suffice it to say, when the Haitian cuisine one asked us for $1,700, they were asking for other towns a lot
Mhm.
more.
For a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So should we take a look at the ones that we're going to definitely fund in full?
However, I'm good approaching it from any direction.
Yeah, I think if we look at what we're gonna fund in full and then see what we have left to, like this, in the past, when we've looked at the breakdown of the groups that we're servicing, we tried to make the money as equal as possible across the different age groups in the town.
Right.
Yeah, so
And-
Jess has down in the notes that the library programs amount to $5,485. The senior programs amount to $1,100. The 19 Carter Associate ones are $2,050, and the link is one is $680.
Which is very low this year. So.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of probably one we are likely to want to fund it in full.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
no question there. Do you know if there's a copier? I could,
Yeah, I'll do it.
are you sure?
Sure.
If you
No,
tell me where it is,
I do it all
I'll-
the time, because I do all the tax, or all the, not the tax stuff, the treasury stuff.
Cause I feel like we're taking it
Didn't
away from
think
you.
about that.
Oh,
Excuse me.
we'll just eat brownies while he
Yeah. Yeah, by all means dig in, and Max, if you want some there.
Did you bake these?
No.
Oh.
So I work at the general store, so,
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, they have some wonderful treats there.
yeah, I'm afraid I'm not much of a baker, and even if I were, I do not have the energy to stand all day and then to stand in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I do like to cook, but it just does not really happen anymore. But,
At the St. Joseph's Fall Fair, I won a $50 gift certificate to the store.
okay.
It's never open when I'm around. I gotta shop on the weekends, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we're
Thank you
open
very
till
much.
7 on Saturdays and 5 on
Good,
Sundays,
thank you.
so. Okay. So I think we're also probably inclined to fund these 3 senior programs fully, particularly since they were not able to run one of theirs this past year, so so we would have $7,000 were it not for 400 that
Yeah.
came back, so,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree on that.
yeah. Okay, so,
Chris, you want a pencil?
Appreciate it. Thank you. Just trying to follow along here.
It's okay.
yeah,
I know, it's a learning curve.
yeah.
I'm pretty.
That's why we're starting you young, so,
It's nice to meet you, Chris.
You as well.
I'm Sandy.
okay.
So then our next one that might be pretty easy to do is the 19 Carter ones, because there's 3 there, right? The Improv, the Ray K, and the Summer Concert Series.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure we'd necessarily want to be funding. I think we probably might be inclined to remove a little from the Reiki one and
Mhm.
hope that 19 Carter will absorb that.
And maybe a little from the summer concert.
Yeah,
I think last year we funded them, I think it was 800
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
towards the concert series.
Yeah, hold on, I may be able to pull that up quickly. Yeah, 800 was what we did last year on that one.
So what do you think on the Ray K?
Uh,
300 was for the rental and 250 for the presentation. Is that how it broke down?
Yeah,
Which one was that? I'm sorry.
that Reiki,
Infused sound bath.
yeah. Yeah, so I guess she has done other things at 19 Carter there before, but more something that they had organized together.
Yeah, I didn't copy out the breakdown of the money.
But I would maybe say tentatively reducing that one to 400, so in theory, maybe 150 is the rental and 250 is, I mean, obviously it will be up to them to work out how much they want to reduce the rental, but I
Okay.
think that would, in theory, give a little wiggle room where everyone is reasonably happy.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So that's the sound bath to 400 instead?
Yeah, tentatively. Well, once we figure out the total number, we'll just kind of do a single vote on a lot of it, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
And
because we may play around with the numbers a little bit more.
our total was, so what, 18, did you say? Or
1840 we have to cut
1840.
from it
Okay.
to get.
Yeah, so kind of
Yeah.
chip away a little bit from, whoop, not again. Aren't we making enough motion?
Oh, that's what's at it.
Yeah.
Somewhere on the side.
It's the motion detector.
It's been a long day. I should have realized that was what it was, but
Thank you.
But I would say tentatively for Meredith Charles, give her the full 500, particularly since we have not been able to fund both programs, I think.
Yeah, and she in the past has asked for more than that, for 600, if I
Yeah.
remember the last time.
Yeah, let's see. Last time she asked for... Last time she asked for 625, and we had to say no last year, because we had a lot of requests. Okay.
Do we want to take a look at doing 800 for the summer series like we did?
Yeah, well,
Last
we
year.
might as well have that down.
Because we can always add back in once we,
Yeah.
does that seem fair to everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Which one was that? I'm sorry.
The 19 Carter music series, so
Yes.
tentatively giving them 800 instead of 1,000.
Yeah, sorry, we're kind of all over the place because we had a different setup last time when we broke it down into categories.
But yeah, so that, the grant is outdoor summer concert series, and
So that was, they were asking for 1,000.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, maybe one to bring up is, we did approve the Neshoba one. We usually approve it but don't approve it for the full amount.
We've been, the last couple of years, it's been $150,
Yeah,
and they've never collected on it,
yeah.
ever. Even after I've emailed them and said,
Yeah.
Seriously.
we're approaching the deadline, you need to get the paperwork in so that we can,
Yeah.
Every time we've approved them, they used to do, I guess, a Christmas, the first time we funded them, it was for a Christmas thing at the mall.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
And so
Yeah.
we funded that, never asked for the reimbursement, and then last year, then I don't think they asked us the next year, and then last year, I don't think we funded them last year.
I thought we no, we
Did we?
we did not fund them last
Right,
year.
the year before we did, and they never requested, so twice they haven't requested
Yeah.
reimbursement, which is
So, I mean-
odd.
Part of the rationale for approving it this year was the fact that we did receive a letter from one of the members of the band who lives in town. So,
Yeah, and I think we should try again.
yeah.
Definitely try
Third
again.
time's the charm, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
But yeah, but I would think that given it involves people from Berlin, but it's not a Berlin thing, that may be one where we can ship.
Do half.
Yeah, that good tentatively, put that down to 250.
Okay. Yeah.
And I suppose on a similar vein that's the healing garden, we obviously are not in a position to give that 1,000.
Correct.
So, do we wanna tentatively say half?
Yeah, let's go I think that's fine, tentatively half, and then that would be a place we could come back to.
Yeah,
Because it's the same as the show, but it serves people, but not the
Yeah.
same number of people that, all of these other programs are gonna serve in town.
and I guess then on that theme, I think the only other one that is not associated with the library in some fashion that we've approved is the art and craft fair for,
The art museum,
yeah,
They're only asking, what, 250?
yeah,
so we could look at giving them half of that too,
okay.
or just knock off a little bit. You wanna go look at 200 instead?
Yeah, tentative.
Now the project budget isn't the budget of the actual project, but rather what they sent out, right?
So yeah, so for like that one, their actual budget is, yeah, so that one, the actual budget is 7,895 that they're asking from whatever different sources, but 250 is what they've asked for us, so we would be giving up to the 250 they asked from us.
But like they actually, like the arts and crafts like actual exhibit wouldn't be costing 7,895, right?
No, that
That's the actual like.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think, that's broken down. Hold on, let me pull that one up. Yeah, so.
Yeah, usually it's usually what they're asking in total from all the people that they have
Okay.
requested money from, because if you look at the one on the second page, the Haitian cuisine tour,
Right, it's a
$127,000.
right,
Is there,
and they were asking that from all different kinds of cultural councils.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So for the art and crafts fair, so the 7,895 that they're asking from various sponsors, and that, so like 1,395 is they have down as salaries and fees for contractors. So the jury for its Spanish translation, photography of the exhibits. Then there's 4,000 for the installation, deinstallation, graphic design, install supplies. Then 2,000 is broken down into the prizes for the winners, and then 500 is the advertisements and press releases. So for big things like that, yeah, that is their total budget for that. But they have down, they're asking 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're asking like at least 24 cultural councils, so that's how that gets broken down for that one. I don't think necessarily the whole budget is specifically what is being asked from any sponsors or so if they're getting private, that's included, so that's the total budget, most of which is probably being asked from cultural councils. But in a lot of cases, they have, backup. So like for a lot of the library programs, they say, if we can't get the full amount, the Friends of the Library will chip in. So normally they have, a backup of that, or they'll have we were going to do, a 3-hour performance, it'll be
Right.
they usually have some wiggle room designed in because they know, that there is just,
That's exactly what I was looking for. Okay.
yeah.
I just needed to know that.
Yeah, so that's one reason why one of the library ones we didn't approve, where they were kind of adamant they were asking for the full amount. We're like, well, if you don't have a backup plan, and we're not gonna be, it seemed safer to invest in ones that were better prepared for the realities of the situation.
Yeah, a lot of them will put that at the end. What are your alternative? Some of them offer to do their program for a little less money. They'd switch it up to accommodate that. We've had people say that before.
Yeah,
Or they would charge a small admission fee to make up the difference. Because most of these programs run for free.
Okay.
and I don't know what level requests other councils get, but I mean, we have, other than in 2020 when a lot of people weren't applying because of the pandemic, we have consistently had a lot more asked of us than we've been able to give. I think my first couple of years it was closer to, it wasn't quite, double the amount, but it's kind of been veering that way.
Which is good.
Our budget with the state has slowly gone up over the years, so it was like 4,500 a few years ago, and now it's 5,500. But it was going up like 100 a year, and then one year we got 500 more, and I think then it's kind of leveled off.
Yeah.
The discretionary funding of the state. Had the same problem with Community Preservation Act, where the state would pump in more money and such, and didn't this year. So that's when we're having not quite as much money to play with. But okay. So, anyways, so for the healing, or I had that written down. What was the other one? What was
We had the art museum.
The art museum. That was
and
where
Virginia Thurston. So that takes care of everything that's outside of the library programs, right?
Hold on. What did we decide on tentatively on the arts and crafts?
So it went from 250 to 200.
Okay. That's what I had written down, but somehow it didn't seem right in my head.
Okay.
I can get that. Walk into a room and you don't know that you're there.
Okay. So that leaves ones we're still looking at as the Davis Base, Generations of Fun, Intergenerational Performance, the Copper Bookmark Workshop, Japanese Folk Tales and Origami for Families, the Let's Go Eco, Summer Reading, the
There's a pop-up paint night.
the musical baseball
Baseball.
show, the Angora Wool Fiber, the balloon twisting. So right now I have down
This
that.
helps you guys a little bit. This is like how we broke it out last time. So this is the category we're looking at right now with the library programs. That makes sense, because I know everything's not in the order that we're talking. It's hard
But
to
you have the
follow it.
notes on the side, library.
I've been standing all right,
Okay.
I've been doing all right.
We're catching up.
Okay. So if we did what we have tentatively done, that spends 4,430, which would leave us 2,970 for the remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grants. So,
Okay, well, that's not bad,
yeah.
not too bad.
So are we trying not to look at the library programs at this point, or?
Well, now,
As I'm wondering about this wildlife balloon twisting workshop.
Ed the Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So he was supposed to do that program, I think back in 2020, and that was one where, because of the nature of the pandemic, he switched it to being a different program instead. He did a magic show, which I happened to attend that because I was walking down the street or something at that time, and you know, that was outside at the library.
Ah,
And
serendipity.
it was well attended. There were
Yeah.
about like 30 people there, so I'm not sure how different it may be when it comes to the
Wildlife balloon twisting.
yeah. But I mean, I
It's
imagine
intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a good show, you know, all things considered. For I mean, the age group. I mean, I don't think that would fully entertain me, but my tastes
No,
are
but he's
a
still
little
asking for $450, and
Yeah.
how long could the show possibly be?
Okay, well, let's.
I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
speculating.
Okay. And if I've done my math correctly, the ones we have left to decide on, if we were funding them the full amount, would be 3,660. So we're needing to cut out, what was it? I said like,
About $700.
yeah, so I think $690 is what we would need to
Mhm.
shave off to make the math work on that.
They're all coming in, I know last year, so this was a different tactic that we took last year, was that everything, we funded all of them at all the ones at $500. But most of them are less than that,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah, because you can do more.
Yeah, let's.
So,
As far as the budget on the Ed the Wizard one, it's all down as in the category of salaries and fees administrative. My fee includes all of the materials. So my fee includes all of the materials required for this program, including but not limited to program materials, i.e. balloons, postage, promotional materials, press releases, posters, etc. That one. So at least that one isn't including travel. But
they're all very reasonably priced.
yeah.
And we gotta knock off, how much?
690, I believe.
690, okay. So do you wanna look at the same tactic that we used last year, where we set an amount, which, looking at these, maybe $450?
Yeah, I think
And then-
basically if we do them 450, unless they were asking for less, that almost gets us there.
Because a lot of them, these library programs will be supported by the Friends of the Library if
Right.
they're a little bit less. but they're all good programs, and they cover the young kids, the teens this year. This is the first year that they've covered teenagers. There's a couple of programs for the teenagers.
Glad
There's a
about that. Yeah.
couple for the adults, which again, over the last couple of years, it's been mainly kid programs. So I was
Right.
really happy when I saw that. Let's see what that comes out to.
I think that if my math is correct, that may actually come out to a lower amount than it needs to be.
That'd be awesome.
Because when I did that, let me just, no, it comes out, doesn't come out to enough. No, okay, that comes out to 7,830.
So we still have 400 and something to.
Well, most of the library programs are coming in lower, but you've got
Right.
Yeah.
the Japanese folk tales. They're asking $550, and the summer reading with Diane Edgecombe is $525. So maybe
If we look at it, funding everybody at 400
That
instead of 450.
That puts us to 7580. So let's see about 375.
We also have that we could knock some off of Virginia Thurston. Is at 500. We funded them at 300 last year. Neshoba Symphony, you can knock them to 150 or 200.
Well, at the moment, if we did all of the library ones at 375 minus the one that's 349, which for sanity's sake I just put down as 350, that would put us at 7430. So we would be only need to shave off another $30. So I think it would be good to just go through all of these to see what they have down as different funding options before we get too into 375 as an amount. Because I am good with potentially taking more off of the Healing Garden or...
Yeah, I think that's high, what we put there. I think we had hopes that we could put more there, but I think it's fair to take some off of that.
So, if you don't mind me interrupting, the Healing Garden is currently at 400, right? Like, we're trying to keep everything at 400?
no,
there-
that was we were trying to keep all the library ones at 400, so
Okay.
then that became 375. So we did have the Healing Garden at 500, but should we put down to 400 at the start?
Or even 300, which is what we gave them last year. If we
Okay.
start with what we gave them last year, and then we could add back if
Okay.
we can't meet this.
Okay. Okay.
And even knock the Neshoba thing down to 200 instead of 250. Make them have.
Plan. Okay, so that gives us another 220 we can put back places.
So you dropped all the library programs to 375.
Yeah, minus the one that was 349, which I bumped up $1 like, for sanity.
yeah.
$349.99.
Hey. They do it for the same reason as everybody else. It looks cheaper.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, except I'm in the big habit of not doing prices like that at work. I usually try to round things to like a quarter or something one way or another. Like, makes everyone's life a little easier if we're not dealing with
So.
too many pennies. But, okay, well, let's look at Okay. So the pop-up acrylic night, they have down that the Friends of the Library could contribute. So that was one at 400. The origami one has down the Friends of the Library if they do not get their full amount.
Is that the Japanese?
Yeah.
That's in the library as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
let's
okay,
see, what other ones at the library? The musical baseball show. Fee is negotiable, any reasonable offer will be considered. His was $375 for performance and $25 down as his, transportation.
Guess that works perfectly then.
Yes, it does.
So let's see, what other ones do we have? Right, hour look at it. Hold on, I didn't read on it, the Wizard, what he had done for, yeah, at the Wizard says partial funding has never affected any of the energy or preparations required to present to your community a professional performance. I cannot give partial performance, I can only give 100%. A 60-minute performance is easily a 6-hour day for me, so, okay, so that's little.
So he'd be okay with 375, you think? I didn't totally understand that. Did he
Yeah,
say-
that seemed like a little bit of hedging his bets on, I can do it, but seemed a bit of a cheeky answer.
Mm.
Would be how oh, that was when I didn't have down that. For some reason I had that down at 400 and not 375, so that puts 245 for putting back to other ones. Hold on, let's see what else did we, the copper bookmark one. If they can have full funding, I may have to scale back the number of students that would be able to attend the workshop if we can't get the full grant amount we are requesting. Berlin's not
Is that
How
a
many-
charge workshop?
I believe that's free.
How many people was she saying she was gonna serve for that amount of money?
Yeah, that, hold on, let me get back into that. But, okay, estimated at 15,
15.
yeah.
Like, total?
Yeah,
Copper's very expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe she needs to make it a charge workshop and, I mean, realistically,
Yeah, a lot of when
You
I
take-
teach,
it's a
when I
takeaway.
teach, I
yeah,
have the
for
students pay for the
supplies.
materials. Yeah.
I think that's fair.
So if we were to cut it, maybe she could
Yeah.
revamp a little bit. I don't know if she said that in her notes or not, but yeah, copper is
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. I have to say, over the years, I always thought the idea of getting rid of the penny was silly, because then it'd be like your lowest amount would be 0.05, which always struck me as wrong. But years in retail, I think we just need to get rid of the penny. Copper is too valuable to.
A lot of military encampments have completely gotten rid of the pennies and rounded up or down.
Yeah.
It actually costs more to make a penny than
Yeah,
what a
like
penny's
4
worth.
cents or something.
I know, it's
Which is
crazy.
why people used to melt them down. Now you can't do that.
No.
Well, let's see.
So we still wanna look at that one at 375.
Yeah, well, we've got some, now that we've taken out of other ones, we have room to go back a bit. But hold on, Davis Bates, if partial funded, the project would still occur with additional nonprofit sliding scale discount and/or support from library, especially if the total amount of funding is within the range of 350 to 500. The
All right, we're gonna set a timer, and people can jump up every 10 minutes and take a lap around the table. Yeah, see how often this
Thank
is.
you, Max. So, the Angora one, that one said, I'm not certain if the library will cancel the programs or if they will request other funding from other sources. I'm not able to travel and provide the materials services without covering the costs outlined above, but they were at, and actually, according to this, it's actually 348.50.
348.50. Oh my gosh.
Down.
I think we can give them.
I think 350.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hold on, I think there's one.
What I
It
like
makes
about
the
that one, too,
bookkeeping a
is
little bit better
It's
for us.
multiple programs too. Multiple programs.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
wasn't
It's-
It makes sense to give them that.
Yeah.
No.
She's
Yeah,
doing
so-
foraging, wool spinning.
Yeah, so it sounded like from the library ones, the only ones that we approved that seemed a little bit dicey on how they would account for not getting the full amount were the copper one and at the Wizard, which both involved, physical materials as well, so.
Mhm. And so Diane Edgecombe said that she would
Oh, I don't,
look to, do I
I
have
mean,
her?
I may have skipped over that one, what did you?
And the pop-up paint night, that was the other one that I had in
read
this
them.
category.
Diane Edgecombe said they'll look to the Friends of the Library, but that funds aren't always available, and I think I read through the pop-up paint night. Yeah, that's one saying Friends of the Library. But okay, so at the moment having those down to 375 and where we had cut from the Healing Garden and from
The symphony.
yeah. Yeah, we 200 on the symphony, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so it appears that we have $245 we can put back into play
Okay.
for library programs, assuming that's how we want to do that.
Yeah, because making 375 from 400 is a big difference in making 375 from 550 or 525. So I don't know if you want to put a little bit back in there. How much did you say we were over?
245, so I think we're looking at, essentially, I think 7 grants at this point because the wool one is already, oh, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, so the ones that we would be looking to maybe float back more would be the Davis Bates Generations of Fun Intergenerational Performance to Copper Bookmark Workshop, the Japanese Folk Tales and Origami, the Let's Go Eco Summer Reading, the Musical Baseball Show, the Wildlife Balloon, and the Pop-Up Art Night. And 2 of those are at 400 is what they're asking for. So if we put those 2 back up to 400, that would give us 195 for the remaining 5.
I think we should look at, because the ones that the higher ones that we took a greater percentage of money from, that we should look to put some money back to those.
Okay.
Like the Healing Garden, or?
No, I'm talking about the
within the
library
library
stuff.
one.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
the
because-
Generations of Fun, is that what you're referring to?
So yeah, so like that.
Like something like that? 'Cause
The origami.
Which one is that?
The Davis Bates one.
Oh, Davis Bates. Yeah, Davis Bates, Diane Edgecombe, and Japanese Folk Tales. Davis Bates was 500, Diane Edgecombe was 525, and the Japanese Folk Tales was 550. So if we put back a little bit to each one of those, punch those up to the 400, that'd be $75.
Well, if we leave the 2 that were at 400 at 375,
Mm-hmm.
and we put those 3 up to 450, that would give us another $20. I'd almost maybe say taking perhaps a little more from 19 Carter's concert series, maybe. I don't know. That it's a good program, and I know I
That is our biggest one, right? In terms of total money. So if we could drop it to 750.
yeah. So if we say drop that to 750, maybe put another 50 in, or even not like some, like if we. So yeah, if we drop that to 750, then we could put the copper bookmarks up to 445. So what I'm looking at as a tentative for the library programs would be the Davis Bates Intergenerational would be 450 out of 500. Copper Bookmark Workshop would be 445 out of 486. The Origami 450 out of 550. Summer Reading 450 out of 525. The Musical Baseball Show 375 out of 400. The Wool, Angora Wool 350 out of 349. The Wildlife Balloon 375 out of 450, and then the Pop-Up Paint Night 375 out of 400. So if we went with all of that and all the other changes we have everywhere, that should get us to 7,400.
Good.
Wow.
Alright.
You did all that math that fast?
So,
He's so smart. He's so smart.
I've got a
I know, but even so.
Good job. Can you
That works.
go, they're listed the way they print it out, right?
hold on, how did they print it out?
Here's number, here's the first page, this one.
Yeah, I think that's the order I have them in. Yeah.
Okay. Will you read them out to me so I can put them right in?
Yeah.
I kind of did it as we went. I just want to make sure that I have it on this sheet.
Okay. So, as I believe currently proposed, hold on, I'm just gonna. Okay, so the Davis Bates would be 450. Copper bookmark would be 445. Painting with Patty 500. Senior watch party 350. Honky Tonk Piano Man 250. The adult improv 500. The Reiki infused sound bath 400. Japanese folk tales and origami for families 450. The Let's Go Eco Dianetic Comb 450. Arts and Craft Fair 200. Stories for Neighbors for Link 680. Neshoba Symphonic Band 200. Musical Baseball Show 375. 19 Carter 750. Angora Wool 350. Wildlife Balloon Twisting Workshop 375. Pop-up Art School Acrylic Paint Night 375. And then the Healing Garden 300 for a total of $7,400. So, assuming that meets with people's approval, would someone like to make a motion that we approve our budget as described?
I think these guys should say.
I'll make a motion, we approve the budget as described.
Do I hear a second?
I second that.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Alright.
Okay. So that takes care of,
And you got it done before the lights went off.
yes.
For a third time.
So, the only other item on the agenda would be essentially discussing next meeting. So, we need to have our town report, which I'm happy to write as I've done the past couple of years, but that will need to be approved by the committee, and I think the due date they're looking for is something like January 20th, or it's before the end of January. It seems a little earlier this year, so ideally I think meeting first half of January for that would be good. And other items, so because we have discovered that our part of the town website is out of date, we kind of need to discuss that now and get that
Yeah.
fixed before next year.
Yes,
And
definitely.
we're also responsible for having a community survey each year. So my thought would be that we would meet sometime first half of January to discuss the website, approve our inclusion in the town report, and to discuss how we want to deal with the survey, since SurveyMonkey proved to be disastrous
Mm-hmm.
in our last attempt. So, would folks be good for meeting some point earlier in January?
Yep, I'm home in January.
And is Thursday night,
Thursday's fine.
so would tentatively having our next meeting on January 11th at 7:30 somewhere in this building work for everyone?
I think so.
Okay.
Two things. Did you go into the MCC website and put what our meeting dates in?
I'm trying to think. Don't think.
Because we have to enter the meeting, our last meeting date for when we discuss the grants and the, tonight's meeting, that we awarded the money.
Yeah, so let's see. That's last year. Where is this year?
So once that goes in, the amounts have to go in, right?
Yeah,
The amounts have to be put in.
yeah,
Once that's all in, then I can finalize the report, I think, and then once I finalize the report, the money will be sent to the town
okay.
to pay for the grants.
Yeah, well, I can take a look at that in the next.
Let me know. Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know, Ryan.
All right, do you want me to do the letters, the acceptance letters?
If you're cool with that, and I can,
Yeah.
you know where to find me to
To sign them, I know.
That has worked out well about working back at the general store is I'm easily found for signatures.
Okay, so just so Chris knows the next part of the procedure, because you know that now we've sent out the denials,
Yeah,
and then there's a 2-week wait period.
They send the appeals, correct?
yeah, and no one ever has.
Yeah, I was
And
about to
then
ask
now
that.
the acceptance letters go out
Okay.
to, and they have to go out by the end of January, but we always have them out usually the end of December.
I think it's actually the middle of January that
Is
they
it
do.
middle? Okay, they'll be out before then.
We've sometimes had occasions where we haven't had anyone come back where we've denied it, but there have been times where we've had some questions about something, so instead of having a meeting on the grants and then a meeting on the money, sometimes we've ended up with kind of a third meeting in there, so that's kind of one reason to try to get ahead of the curve in case something, you know, we needed more details on one of them. But yeah, I'll take care of that on the computerized end,
Okay,
and
all
I'll
right, and I'll do the
let you
letters.
know on that.
Okay.
So I think that was everything.
Any new business?
No, just happy to be meeting in person.
Yeah,
It's kind of
it's
nice.
nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it is convenient being able to do, I like having the option, but I much prefer having meetings in person. I think it's just a better atmosphere.
And we get brownies. I'm going to take one for the road.
Yeah, well, there's that too. I like to be able, you know, to do that. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
And second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, the meeting is adjourned at 8:44 p.m.